So we have been using our Berkey water filter for the past few days because we had a water emergency when our pipes froze.
Yup. Yup.
But now we have our water back, hallelujah.
Yes.
So we have to put the Berkey away in storage because we don't use it all the time.
But it's got to be done right. It's important.
Otherwise, it'll spoil.
Yike. No.
Tiny House Prepper.
Hi there, everybody. I'm Bill.
And I'm Elizabeth with Tiny House Prepper.
And like I said, you know, we have been using our Berkey for the past several days. If you watched the last video that we just put out, we talked about the freezing pipes that we had, so we had no water. So we were actually able to test our emergency water system. And did it work?
Yeah, actually very, very well.
It worked very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now we're going to put the filter away because we don't use it all the time.
We have good well water normally.
Yeah, we know some people who use it constantly. Our son is one of them. They use it all the time. And I also got a lot of comments on the last video from a lot of you who say that you use it all the time and that you love it.
Yeah. Yeah, we just normally have good water, so we don't have to use it all the time.
Right, so we only have it for emergencies, so when we're not using it, we have to put it away. But when you do, you have to make sure you do it right. You have to make sure it's dry.
Yes.
Because if you don't, and you store it for a year with that water in there, I hate to think of what would happen to
Oh yeah,
it.
we want to keep it safe and clean and dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what this video is about, to show you how to properly drain and dry and clean and store your filter.
Yep.
Now it's funny because as I was outside earlier this morning, I ran into my neighbor who just happens to watch our videos.
Which is so sweet.
Yeah. Hi there.
Hey. Hey, buddy.
So he said, "Bill, why are you going to the creek for the water?" That was his opening statement. He walked up to me and he said, "Why are you going to the creek for the water?" It's like, because we didn't have any. And he said, "Well, why don't you just go down to the clubhouse?" And I went, "No." Of course.
I didn't think of it either. I mean,
Here's the situation. We live in a small little community where it used to be a campground, and all the campsites were divided and sold as lots, so we own one of those lots. Well, our community still has the original clubhouse and pool, and we have a...
Well, the pool isn't working
well, it's still
anymore.
there. It's just not working right
You're
now.
right. Right.
But so we have a property owners association that maintains all of that. Also maintains the community well for the whole development.
Yeah.
So we
and
can.
they're actually nice, very nice, friendly property owner association.
Yeah, absolutely. So we can just. The clubhouse is only about a half block away, so I can just go down there and get water. I think, you know, we are so geared in our thinking toward preparing for a total breakdown of the infrastructure that we just didn't even think about.
Yeah, we didn't think about the fact that, of course, they still got water. They weren't frozen pipes
right.
like us.
Now, if the power was out, then there wouldn't be electricity for the well, and then there wouldn't be any water at the clubhouse, and then we would have to go down to the creek. So ultimately, we tested our worst case scenario, and it worked really well.
Yeah, it worked out okay. It really did.
But now we know, as long as there's still electricity, we can go down to the clubhouse and get water.
Ta-da! Although, you know what? I think that the video you made down at the creek would be a lot prettier than doing the video down at the clubhouse and just getting it out of the...
Well, that's true.
You know, it was very pretty down there on the video.
But
so,
getting it from the clubhouse isn't really testing our water
yeah.
Emergency scenario.
Right. Yeah,
so.
our well here, the community well here, actually even has a generator on it. So they try to really provide for like short-term emergencies, loss of electricity.
Right.
But if things would get to where we couldn't even keep the generator going, we want to know that if there's just no way to get the water from the well, even for the clubhouse, that we know we've got a source of water. Right. And it worked fine. It did. It worked just fine. And he didn't hurt his back, everybody. He was really careful.
I only carried one bucket at a time instead of two like I did last time when I hurt my back.
He was absolutely fine.
Yeah.
And that creek, under incredibly cold conditions, stayed very accessible. I was pretty impressed.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, you want to see how to prepare your Berkey for storage?
Okay.
Let's go. Now the first thing you need to do in order to store it properly is to take the filters out. I've already emptied the water out of here. You see this particular model has two filters in there, you can see. And they screw in from the bottom. So I'm going to take the filter out by unscrewing it right here. Now this filter, the holes, the pores in here are so microscopic that the water won't go in and out by itself. It won't. They're so small that it won't break the tension of the water surface to be able to go in there. So when you're going to use it, you have to prime it and then you have to drain it. If you don't drain it before you store it, then you're storing it with this full of water. And I don't know exactly what would happen if you stored this for a long period of time with water in there. But I could see mildew and all kinds of things growing on there. So, but I don't know. But I just want to make sure that it's clean and empty and dry before I store it. Now, this is the primer pump. It does not come with it. It's an extra that you have to purchase. But I highly recommend purchasing it. It makes everything so much easier. Now, in the previous video about storing or testing our water system, our emergency water system, I showed you how to prime this. So I will put a link below if you haven't seen that, so you can see how to prime it. But now I'm going to drain it. And basically when you prime it, you just put this in here and you squeeze the pump and it sucks water up into the pump. But to drain it, I want to turn the bulb around so it's blowing air into the filter. So I'm going to take these off and turn them around, put them on the other way. There we go. Now I screw this onto here. And now when I squeeze the bulb, it's going to blow air this way. Instead of sucking water this way, it's going to blow air this way, and it'll blow all the water out of the filter. Okay, so now as I take the filter with the pump here, the bulb, and as I squeeze it, see the water coming out of there? You just want to keep squeezing it until no more water comes out. There's actually quite a bit more water in there than you would think. You just keep squeezing it until it's no longer dripping. I've been trying to get the light right so you can see this, but as I squeeze it, you can see the water just sort of bubbling out. There's still water in this much down here in the bottom. So you want to just keep squeezing it and keep pumping it until it's basically dry and there's nothing left coming out. I think I'm almost there. Okay, so this now is basically dry. All the water has been blown out of it. Now I'm still going to let this sit for a couple days to try to dry out any little bit of moisture that might be left. And then of course you want to clean all the filter, both pieces, and make sure it's completely dry. And you got to take the spout off. That's just a screw on the inside. And then this particular model is kind of cool because it'll actually pack up like this. And then I can put it and take this off, and this goes inside. And then I can put it right back into the original box that it came in and store it away in the shed so that the next time I have emergency water needs, which might be a year from now, then I can pull it out and do it again. So if you're going to use it, of course if you use it all the time, full time, you don't have to bother with any of this. But if you're only going to use it occasionally, get the pump prime it properly, and when you're done, drain it properly so that you don't damage the filter as it was by storing it with full of water. Okay, so there you go. Now you know how to clean your Berkey and put it away. I really hope that helped.
Yeah, we just try to give you practical information on how to take good care of it. And every time he brings it out, it seems to be in good shape.
Yep.
So
thanks very much for watching. Please don't forget to like the video, and of course if you haven't subscribed yet, you got to do that or you're not going to get any of our future videos. And what good is that?
Oh boy.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody.
All right.
We'll see you later.
All right, love you guys. Okay, bye-bye.